Welcome to Akhand Vidyashram, the first institute of impeccable wisdom. Divyank Ratio, the impeccable golden ratio, or the divine golden ratio. My mission, the impeccable wisdom, knowing which everything is fully known. My greatest discovery is Divyank, the divine design of nature with which the perfect objects are designed and created. Now let's understand the golden ratio. The description standard description given all around the world, which is conclusive everywhere in the internet, different books everywhere. You find three definitions which stand out. The first one is when a line is divided into two parts, the longer part divided by the shorter part is equal to the whole length divided by the longer part. This is the first definition given. Second definition given is two quantities are in the golden ratio if their ratio is the same as the ratio of their sum to the larger of the two quantities. Third definition is straight line is said to have been cut in extreme and mean ratio. As the whole line to the greater segment, so is the greater to the lesser. Now these definitions are too abstract for any person to understand and comprehend. Very, very difficult. To make this definition little more understandable, so mathematicians use a particular representation, as you can see, a plus b divided by a, number 1, is equivalent to a by b, equivalent to 5, equivalent to 1.618. They also graphically have tried to present the same thing, long side with the short side, equal both sides by long side. You can see representation. Third picture also has the same representation of golden ratio, what is there. But I do know these are too abstract for a common person to understand and comprehend. So I think that has been an issue. Well, now let's try to take it to the next stage to understand things better. First, let's understand what are the different examples of golden ratio from Fibonacci sequence. The last video we showed, from sunflower to pine to aloe vera, this particular spiral of 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, 144 is seen all over in plant kingdom, whether it is a tree, whether it is the flowers, whether it is seeds or the structure. From there we have concluded that 1.618 is the golden ratio based on the calculation of Fibonacci sequence. Incidentally, it's a 10th and 11th sequence which gives you the value. The rest of the things do not give you this particular value. Is that 10th and 11th a coincidence or divine indication that there are 10 stages of development in nature? Let's keep that in the back of mind. There are 10 stages of development. Same picture has been given down as a golden ratios picture, as you can see, in 2 dimensions, length and breadth. Now, to prove the point, this is what is the divine design. I have used these two pictures. One is of spiral galaxy picture, well known, internet, entire world knows about it. It's NASA's pictures. I don't think this needs any introduction, but length and breadth in this spiral galaxy as above is also in golden ratio. Whirlpool, when same hurricane works on the ocean water, the structure it creates is also identical to the upper one. And this picture is also taken from a satellite, other picture, and same thing has been shown how golden ratio is represented. So thanks to the people who have done such a wonderful job to prove this is the golden ratio, this is nature design. To that extent, thank you very much for giving me good base to work on. Greek architects and the architects of around the world today are using golden ratio to make beautiful buildings, beautiful designs of art. This is also something needs no introduction because entire Google or internet is flooded with the structures which are designed with golden ratio. Nautilus shelf is one of the greatest creations in the ocean, where the mineral kingdom is converted into a structure with the help of animal called snail. Snail structure leading to this as a beautiful example. Let's understand and appreciate and leave it at that. This particular picture needs no introduction. It is Mona Lisa picture by Leonardo da Vinci. He is one of the greatest artists, mathematician, architect, and designer. Give him all the credit for the wonderful work he has done. And this picture has been used extensively to prove that it centers around golden ratio. Every aspect of Mona Lisa is designed with this, whether it's the nose, lips, face, length, breadth, everything is so perfect. How did he know? Because he was in tune with nature. I think wonderful job. So we can conclude that golden ratio in this particular thing of 1.618 is definitely divine design. And let's understand and appreciate and leave it at that. Now let's go further to understand the different this value of 1.618. In my opinion, this is too simple to be scientific. I understand science is simple, but oversimplification is not science. We should have something much more concrete where all the ratios which drive out of any ratio should have perfect values, not changing thereafter. But 1.618, the ratio of 1 or 618 and further divide does not give you consistent value infinity otherwise. So from that point of view, this was gross, the basic structure, not the perfect design. To simplify that, mathematicians of the world have worked together with a man-made formula. I call it man-made formula, not a divine formula. I have a reason for that. And they put 1 plus square root of 5 divided by 2 is equivalent to 1.6180339887498895, and this is it. Now, great mathematicians are still going and finding new and new digits. I have a question for all these mathematicians is never-ending infinite irrational number of digits are highly confusing, misleading. You cannot apply in day-to-day life. And at the same time, as I told you, 1.618 also does not give you the ratio divided by two values to be perfectly in sync, or you bring the same value throughout. They go on changing at every stage, as I've told you in Fibonacci sequence. So as a result, I would say it's a good attempt, but not as perfect as I would like it to be. So let's see how can we go forward to. The golden ratio, the first deficiency which I have, 1.618, I have told you already it's too simple to be, but this is much more accurate, much better. But the first deficiency with respect to this particular number is, it has an infinite number of digits. It's confusing and misleading. We can't apply in day-to-day life. So what could be the rectification of the first hypothesis we have? Universe may be infinite, but the perfect objects of divine nature are finite or limited in shape and size. Hence, the divine golden ratio should have limited digits only. Not too many digits, not too little, or too much. We should have something which is truly perfect or impeccable in every way. And that particular deficiency of golden ratio, as we know internationally, I'm not pointing fingers at any particular, because mathematics and science as on today is an international communities of all the countries have contributed towards that. It's no more a domain of one particular nation or one particular zone in the world. Nobody can say it is American domain or European domain or Arabs or Indians, Chinese, Australians and New Zealand, nothing. Now, entire community, all the living peoples around the world are contributing towards science and mathematics as unison effort. So now it has become a global mathematics or global science. So let's leave it at that. Now, from mathematician point of view, this is my doubt and my hypothesis. It should have a limited. Since mathematicians have not resolved that particular issue, I am glad that I am able to bring some light on that particular thing, and Divyank ratio is my baby, which arises from Divyank. The perfect value is 1.618034. That means 1 into 1.6180 is the ratio. Now the perfect ratio I can say further between is 38.1966% plus 61.8034%. These are the two perfect ratios. And what's the real beauty? 38.199 plus 61.8034 is equivalent to exactly 100%, which you do not see in any other ratio giving you 100% perfect added value. The second thing is square root of the first number 61.8034 is equivalent to 3819.66, which is 100 times the value of the first number. Can you imagine? Square root of this is equal to exactly 100 times the value. This is something which no other ratio in the world has ever done. And I'm glad that precise, concise thing I've been able to bring it out. Now the question comes in. Is it a mere coincidence or a perfect divine design of nature? That Divyank ratio of 1.618034 is a perfect one. And this has been recognized, conceived and revealed for the first time in 2015 by me, and like of this was never been seen or described by anyone. The closest of that is one example going back to 4 centuries ago of the negative value of golden ratio as 618034. But I'm very sorry to say it was not explored further to conclusion, and I think it left it as it is. I wish they had done it. Maybe they could have come to this particular value or some other better value in the process. Now, Divyank ratio, also, as I've been saying, symbolic language is the best. Mathematics is one language, symbols are another. But when you can convert the whole symbol into one mathematics, then you can understand and appreciate much better. As I told you, one showed you the same picture, pentagon picture in the beginning, done by somebody else. This particular picture it's not exactly mine, but I've used it because I found it very interesting the way it is done. And here you can find the red line could be set equivalent to 1.618034. The green line bottom you can see is equivalent to 1. Then blue line you see on the right hand side is equivalent to 61.8034. The violet line is 38.1966. Is it a coincidence that this picture was there, but nobody explained in this particular precise mathematical terms, which I am able to do, which I am happy being in tune with the universal consciousness, knowing the wisdom which was ancient Indian people had done, put into Veda Upanishads, I've been able to decode that and bring forward to this particular level. I think I feel blessed. From that point of view, I think this has been a better clarity now that golden ratio by and large is the divine design of nature, but the values given of the golden ratio by the mathematicians and scientists of the world in the form of 1.618 or 1.618033 infinite number is confusing, misleading, which cannot be applied. From that angle, this particular number is much more precise, concise, can be easily understood, and already proved that these two values put together is equivalent to 100, and other thing which I have said, I think it should be a good point to build on thereafter. This particular picture I also got in that. Now, from this level of understanding, golden ratio or Divyank ratio is a perfect value of 1.618. But now a question comes for me. Man-made formula has given the infinite descent. 1 plus square root of 5 divided by 2 is this. Is this a formula which nature has used to make golden ratio or the Divyank ratio, or there is something more than that? I think the genesis of Divyank goes further than that. It doesn't stay put with this particular, they have given the value of that, but how that value was developed by nature divine designs, not man-made mathematics. is something which will be revealed in the next video, the genesis of Divyank, the divine design of nature, how that formula of 22 by 21 to the power of 10.34419 equivalent to 1.6180 was conceived, designed, how that kind of wisdom of 22 by 21 as a first stage of creation was put in a cryptic form in stories in Vedas, Upanishads, and other scriptures, and why power of 10 was also represented. What is 0.344 was also cryptically represented in story forms, and how did I decode that would make another interesting point to the next video to say this is the divine design of nature, knowing which everything else is known. And then after that we will go to see how beautifully this has been applied in all the perfect structures, the entire universe, even divine nature, and all the perfect anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, psychology is meticulously designed only with Divyank, the divine design of nature. And those teachers are going to see, which is going to be surprising for the entire world. And they say, wow, this is the impeccable wisdom. We should have known. And how I've been able to come to that conclusion, how it was developed, is something would be interesting to watch in our further videos. So thank you very, very much for listening and encouraging me to do my best to bring forth divine mathematics in the divine symbolic, which people can understand, appreciate, and lead perfectly healthy, wealthy, wise, and happy life, and hope for world peace. Thank you once again.